Welcome to this Windows channel. This is the Tech News Update. We are Monday, June 27, 2016. In our Tech News Update today, we have Google Chrome. Google Chrome has a flaw. Now, it's not a security flaw, so there's no danger of, for the user. It's a flaw that major movie and TV show companies won't like, though. What happens is that there's a security firm that discovered that you can easily pirate any movies, TV shows you're watching while streaming, including, with services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and so on. What happens is that the security firm discovered that there's a flaw in Google Chrome. It's only Google Chrome that's affected. So basically, when you're receiving a movie from, say, Netflix, there's something called DRM, or Digital Rights Management, and that is an encryption and a protection against copy. What happens is in your browser, that is converted or unencrypted so that you can watch these movies streaming on the web when you are a subscriber. Now, basically, what the researchers found is that, well, you can actually copy any movie, any TV shows you're streaming thanks to this flaw. And now they say that it's been almost 90 days now since they knew about it. They told Chrome, or they told Google, which in turn told today everyone, yeah, there is effectively a flaw in our browser. But it also affects Chromium because Google Chrome is technically a open source project. So we're not really sure when it's going to be fixed or not. And the company that actually, the researchers, the security firm that found this, is waiting because they're not telling anything details about it. They did show in a video how they did it, but what they have as a policy is that if after 90 days, they usually put out that detail on the internet so that it pushes the companies to even work harder to fix bugs. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But apparently, interesting flaw here in Google Chrome that a lot of people are probably going to try to use to copy movies and TV shows. Well, a California woman that had a forced upgrade to Windows 10 while she did not want to, and basically it broke her computer, went to court and sued Microsoft, and she won. Judge gave her $10,000 in damages for the problems that it caused. So Microsoft, of course, wanted to appeal, but after a few weeks, they decided to not appeal. So they actually gave $10,000 to that woman in California. That's something that crossed my mind so many times. I've seen so many people that have upgraded to Windows 10. Today, this morning, I had a client, an old lady that upgraded to Windows 10. And there was a graphics driver missing. I had to search the web for a graphics driver to have it work correctly. And, you pay a tech guy to fix that. And I was always wondering, I'm sure you can sue Microsoft because a forced upgrade required you to pay a tech guy to have your computer working again. That is something that I think anybody could win, basically. It's one thing to push Windows 10, and of course, if your computer works fine, I understand that there's nothing you can do about it. But if you have a computer that had a problem and you had to pay someone to fix it, I think there's, some kind of legal action there for sure. And did Microsoft think about that before pushing Windows 10? I think this opens the door to a lot of people potentially, suing Microsoft. Well, Facebook, there's a it's not a flaw from what we see. It's more of a kind of a way that hackers have found to go through Facebook to send a virus or a ransomware. Basically, uh, there's been in the past few weeks, and mostly in the past few days, cases where people have been. So basically, say you have your Facebook account, you see a notification that says you've been tagged or somebody's talking about you, which always tells you, oh, somebody just, said something about me. And you click the notification, and what it does, it downloads a file, a JavaScript file. Now, if you only do that and don't click on the JavaScript file and ignore it or just erase it, there's no harm done. But of course, people are curious. They click and they'll see something download. They'll want to see what it is. And that's where you get bitten by ransomware. So it's an interesting thing that's happening there, and I'm not really sure exactly what Facebook will do about it, but especially when we look, it doesn't seem to be a flaw of Facebook. It seems simply to be a feature of Facebook that's used to do bad stuff. So that means if you click something on Facebook and it downloads a file, erase it or ignore it. Don't click on it to execute the file because you might have ransomware. So interesting little bit of news here. In other news, we have, of course, everybody knows the Nexus phones, tablets, which basically it's a Google product but made by other companies. So Huawei, Motorola, and so on have participated in this. But now Google says, okay, we're now making our own handset. That means we're going to have, in the near future, Google branded handsets that will entirely be made by them, which is interesting. Well, it's going to be cool to see that. And one of the interesting sides to it is that they did say, look, we will issue our own handsets, but we will still support Nexus phones and tablets in the future. So that is good news because, if you brand your own stuff, you might be tempted to say, well, oh, the hell with Nexus, bye-bye. Apparently that's not going to happen. Well, hackers put up for sale on a website 655,000 health records from 3 different online US companies. So this is incredible. 655,000 from 3 different companies. All the health records, all the personal info, everything's there. Now, they claim to have already made $100,000. We're not really sure how. One of the things that we think is that they probably also contacted these companies and said, look, we got your data. If you don't want it on the web, well, it's going to cost you. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe they did have $100,000 from one of the 3 companies that said, hey, okay, we want our data back. And they gave out $100,000 for it. But that also brings me to the same thing all over again about how careless companies are about our, security of our data. I'm sorry, but the more I see this, the less I wish data from our personal data should be on the internet. What the hell does health records do on the web anyway? They should be, in some kind of intranet where you can't access it or something. And, I don't know. It's really careless stuff. And that's a lot of data, a lot of personal info also. Incredible when you think about it. And finally, in our last bits of news, last week we talked about how Microsoft Edge was the browser that gave you the best battery life. So PC World, intrigued, decided, hey, I want to do my own test. And so PC World did this test. And they did test all the browsers, the current browsers that are popular. And well, Edge is the best browser for battery life. Even PC World said, yep, it's true. The only difference is that the difference in battery life is less a lot less interesting than when Microsoft did it. But then again, PC World did say, it's kind of complex because it depends what you do. When you go on web pages, the content isn't the same all the time. It's very, very difficult to test this. But still, Edge is on Edge. The interesting turn of events is that in Microsoft's test, Opera was second. Here, Opera is third. Chrome 50 was second in battery life, apparently. And of course, Firefox 46, fourth. And the last one on the list that they've tested, Internet Explorer 11, is really bad for battery life, apparently. So interesting news here when we look at it. And of course, I want to make my own test. I'm figuring out how I could test it in a way that the content doesn't change all the time, and see the battery life with my own tests also. So that's coming up also soon. So interesting. If you have battery powered devices, it seems that Microsoft Edge is the browser to use. This was our Tech News Update for Monday, June 27, 2016. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel. You'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.